How have you used the break? Challenge Cup break, Simon?
Yeah, look, obviously we planned that weeks ago, so we had the early part of the week off, literally off, away from each other and recharging the batteries. Obviously it's an important 3 weeks ahead of us, so we came back in Thursday and trained pretty hard and had a couple of team activities Thursday, Friday, so that was good for the boys, and they got to go away on the weekend, and we've had a normal week leading into a Friday night game this week, so we've trained really, really well Monday and Tuesday and couldn't fault the boys, so got to get through captain's run today, and hopefully we do that unscathed, and we go ready tomorrow night.
There's quite a few changes to the 19. What's dictating selection at the moment?
Well, look, obviously, the position we're in at the moment, it's a high pressure scenario we're in, and we just, with the two young halves, we just felt, last week they didn't quite get their jobs right, and and again, there's a lot of pressure on them. And let me make it clear that there were some other guys, in our middle that didn't get their job right either, which made the young halves job, so much more difficult. But we just didn't want to put them into another scenario this week, a must-win game. We thought we'd be better off going back to our most experienced, where we won some games early on in the year with Fralls and Gaskell. So we've decided as a group to go back to that for the next 3 weeks. And on one hand, we've tried to pick our most experienced team, but you'll have a look at the squad we've named. There's a couple of young kids there. John Luke's there. He hasn't debuted yet, John Luke, but he's been really, really good the last 6 weeks. So we'll get through our captain's run today, and we'll settle on a couple of positions.
So Chester Butler's in the
Chester's 19 as well. Unless we have an outside back go down today or tomorrow in the warm up, Chester won't play. But again, he's only been here a couple of weeks, so he's still got a fair way to go. But the way we are at the moment with Leroy not quite right, Arku's still out, Innes Senior now over with an ankle, so we've got a couple of outside backs down at the moment. So Chester comes into that 19 as cover for us.
So is John Luke more likely to make his debut?
Yeah, look, at this stage, yeah, John Luke's a really good chance. Like I said, we sat down with John Luke about 6 weeks ago and told him some things we needed him to improve, and he's certainly gone away and done that, and he's trained really well. And it's a bit of 6 to 1, half dozen the other. He's a young bloke going into a high pressure game, but he's also going to give us plenty of intent, plenty of enthusiasm if he gets his opportunity coming off the bench. So there's a couple of young guys in there that we know they're going to give us plenty of energy, and we just need the rest of the group to get their job done.
And a few weeks ago you described the Hull KR game as critical. What does that make this Hull FC game?
Well, if that was critical, this is life support. But look, it's an important game. They all are. The last couple we've let ourselves down. We haven't been quite right as far as getting our jobs right. So the longer it goes on, the more critical they become. And we did a good job against this team. At Magic, there's no reason why we can't perform well against them again. That should. And I know that game means nothing as far as Friday night, but it should give the guys some confidence knowing that the brand of footy we played that day, worked well against them. So we won't change too much. Would be silly to not look back at that game and look at things we did well and things that worked well against Hull FC. So we're going to try and replicate that, and hopefully that leads to a good performance from the team.
That was a very pretty win at Magic, wasn't it? Would you take an ugly win this Friday though?
Yeah, any win. The ugliest of wins will do. It's nice to get a comfortable win like Magic, but let's be honest, that's probably not going to happen. Hull have got plenty to play for as well, and we haven't been playing. Obviously, we haven't been playing our best footy. I thought, our effort, at times against Cass was pretty good, but we just there's far too. From an attack point of view. I know they end up scoring 24 points, but from an attack point of view, we're just nowhere near where we needed to be. That's why we've gone back to, putting some experience back in there and taking a bit of pressure off the young kids. Having to go in there and perform under the pressure they have. We just didn't think it was fair to put them back in again this week. So that's why we've gone that way, and hopefully we can rekindle some of the magic we showed on Magic weekend.
Can you detect any anxiousness among the group?
Oh, look, we have look. Obviously, it's only natural that they're anxious. I mean, like I said, it's a high pressure situation we're in. It's a really dire predicament. we all know what happens if we don't make it into Super League next year. So it's only natural that there is some anxiousness among the group. But we've tried to address that in our break, and try to do a couple of different things, team activities, take a little bit of that stress off. But at the end of the day, come tomorrow night, there's going to be pressure there to perform, and and I've said to the guys, we need to channel that pressure into a good performance. We need to use it to bring the best out, and it's not to go. It's no time to go into our shell and second guess ourselves. So that's where we're at the moment. And like I said, we're going to Hull FC, who are coming. What are they, second or third at the moment? But we're going there knowing that we've beaten already this year. We've beaten them comfortably, so we should go, with a bit of confidence, knowing we can maybe not repeat the scoreline, but we can repeat the result.
3 left. How many of those do you think you might need?
Not sure. I'm not sure. I'd like to, obviously 2 teams, as far as points diff under us. If we win 1, they've got to win 2. Is that enough? I'm not too sure. We just got to make sure we win this week, and then worry about, come Sunday night, look at who's won and who hasn't, and then we go again. But our focus right now is to make sure we train well today and we go and win tomorrow night. Lee
Gaskell's 150th Super League appearance. How crucial is he to this team?
Yeah, look, he's crucial, and Gaskey's a barometer for this team. If Gaskey starts the game well and plays well, we win, and whether that's fair or not, I'm not too sure, but that's generally how we see Gaskey. So there's a lot of pressure being on Gaskey all year. He missed the early rounds. We clearly missed him when he didn't play the first 2 or 3 weeks, and I think his form's been reasonably solid all year. But we need the best out of Gaskey the next 3 weeks, that's for sure. And he's been around a long time. He's got his 150th tomorrow night. He's experienced enough to know what he needs to do to get the job done for us, that's for sure.
And people often forget about the head coach. How are you handling the current pressures?
Oh, it's tough. Look, it's tough. It's very tough. I mean, like I said, it's a scenario I didn't envisage that we'd be in, and at the start of the year. But obviously, for a number of reasons, the year hasn't gone the way we would have liked. And at the moment, it's just about making sure we prepare the guys as best they can, and we get that win, or those 2 wins we need, and then we can reassess what's happened during the year, what we need to change, where we need to improve, and we'll have the luxury of doing that once we're safe. But at the moment, it's all about tomorrow night.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Has these 2 weeks, has it dragged, or has it been good in terms of being able to get to work with the guys?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I'm not too sure. It was tough early on, I must admit. Once we got beaten by Cass, it was like, we've got to wait 2 weeks. That was hard. So I thought it was important, that we spend a bit of time away from each other. And then when we got back, we did a couple, we went go-karting and did a couple of other things as a team where we really enjoyed each other's company and try to, relieve a bit of that stress and pressure that's on the group at the moment. But to answer your question, it was probably nice to get away for a few days, but, it was certainly nice also to get back into work and get preparing for Hull, that's for sure.
And talking of the frustrations, seeing what you did against them at Magic compared to last few weeks, how frustrating is that, seeing the sort of difference between the two, knowing what you can produce?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It is frustrating, but you look at that team we had at Magic. It was quite a young team, and all the young kids played really, really well, and everything clicked. And we started well. We scored a couple of early tries. The group grew in some confidence, and we just kicked on from there. And it's the same when you don't start well and things don't go well for you. It's very hard to get out of that rut if you start the game poorly. So obviously it's a focus for us this week to make sure we do start well. Hull are a team that, again, if they start well, they generally kick on and win. So we need to make sure we go there with the attitude that we need to at least match them, at the bare minimum, match them early. And hopefully we're able to do that. And hopefully our attack's a little bit more fluent this week with a couple of changes we've made, and we can we can put on a few points early and put on a little scoreboard pressure for a change. We haven't been able to do that, for a long time now. So we know what we need to do. We obviously know the importance of tomorrow night. So I think the boys will be ready.